May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio Brief Memory. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable, free from economic hardship, and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So Audrey Robinson Walter, Audrey Walter, who became Audrey Robinson, said her son, Elliot, he was pretty small, was, well, maybe he was 10 or something, was walking down near the Han between the kitchen and the dining room. And he blew his paper party favor, the type that unroll and toot at Suzuki Roshi. Roshi, who was walking away from him, turned and rapped him on the back with his kyosaku. I've heard this story many times. He left a mark, Elliot told me with some delight. Was he kidding, I asked. No, I was being noisy and disrespectful. An American kid, in other words. I wouldn't call that a kyosaku. That's his nyoi. Kyosakus are longer. They're what they carry in the zendo. The nyoi is like the teacher's stick. It's short, like a foot long or something. So, always ready to respond to the kids around him. Usually playful. Well, that was sort of playful, too. Audrey was, she was somebody who Suzuki had a particular interest in. And she was there with her husband, with Bob Walter and their kids, Letha and Elliot. And I think they were there for the summer. That was like the summer of 1970. They might have been there some other summer. I remember her pretty well. She might have been there in 69, too. Suzuki paid attention to her once because she was cutting stone. And it was only guys who were working with stones, building the new kitchen, a stone building. They're using big stones. And he saw her cutting stone. And she was doing the cornerstones. She was a sculptor. So Suzuki was impressed with her stonework. He asked her to make a Japanese lantern out of stone. And she found a rectangular stone, and she said, "How do I do it?" And he said, "Just cut." So she did it, and he liked it, and he sent it to New York as a gift to Edo Shimano, who had been Audrey's first teacher with Bob. And then Suzuki asked her if she'd make a Buddha, when she went back to the East Coast. So she did, and she spent a lot of time on it. She got some very, very hard stone, I guess granite, and spent a lot of time on it and brought it back. She didn't say it was so great, but it was, it was put there by the bridge in front of the dorm, the student dorm, by the dining room, by the entrance to the dining room, right by the bridge over the creek there. And Bob said when he was back few years later, he heard some student telling a guest it was obviously a very old, hundreds of years old carving from, Japan or China. In a shosan ceremony once, Audrey, shosan's where you ask questions to the abbot at the end of a session. And so, he was sitting there again with this stick that he'd hit her son with. And she walked up, and usually you walk up and then you kneel. People are standing in a line in the aisle, and he's at the end. And you walk up with your hands in gassho and go, Docho Roshi. And he goes, hi. Or maybe you kneel first, and then you ask your question, what is Buddha, or whatever. Anyway, she walked up to him and grabbed the stick out of his hand, and she said, what is this? And he said, something like that. Let me hold it. It's too heavy for you. He said it so sweetly. Anyway, so Audrey and her son had some experiences with Suzuki with that stick. This has been some brief memories. I'm D.C. Puba of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from sleepy Sanur with Dogged Bandita, Feline Cuchita, and dear lovely Katrinka. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.